Today I'm painting Magneto, and this comes from Jace the Sculptor, and you definitely need to check this dude out. And before I even get started, I just want to quickly mention that Jace the Sculptor lost his Instagram account, and so he's starting again from scratch, which is why there's not that many things on his Instagram, but he makes some incredible models, so I think it would be really awesome of you if you'd go over and follow him on Instagram, but also while you're there, you might as well check out his links for his Patreon and all the other stuff that he does. A mega artist. Please go check him out. And thank you, Jace, for sponsoring another video. Dude, I hope you get your account right back up to where it was. Let's get into painting a Magnet Man. Now, to start making this model, I'm going to glue in some of the pieces, particularly on the base. This is because I just feel like magnets in these areas would just be a nightmare to deal with, and also I cannot be bothered with putting magnets in these areas. Of course, once I've got everything together and test fitted the model, it is obviously now time to prime everything. And so I'm going to start by pouring some of this Kaleido primer into my airbrush and spraying it all over the base. I'll start out with the base because this is the simplest part, at least for me anyway, with this model. Actually, to be fair, this whole thing is actually really simple, and I'm going to try to show you the simplest way to paint this model to get really great results without doing anything too fancy. So let's start out with the base. After a black primer, I'm going to take a dark silver and I'm literally just going to dry brush that with a massive makeup brush, which I promptly stole from my wife's makeup brush set, and I just literally smack the model with this brush. There is no rhyme or reason to how I'm doing this. Everything is going dark silver. That's simple as that. Now I want to create some atmosphere, and to do that I'm going to put some green on the base. This is because I want to create a contrast between the base and the character. So instead of dry brushing grey and making a grey whatever the concretey stuff is on the base, I feel like that would be the incorrect way. It's not incorrect, that's a lie. It would just be not the way that I want to do it. I want to create a massive contrast between the base and the character on top. And so thinking of the colors of the character, which is red and purple, green is going to complement those colors. After I've done the greens, I'm now going to work my way up onto some of the brighter colors on the metal pieces, and I'm going to try bring out some edges by using a bright silver. This is a paint from Ammo by Mig, and it's quite watery and not really ideal for dry brushing, but it works really well at bringing out that brighter silver. Moving back down to the base again, I'm then going to work up with this light mud color, which is it's clearly a green color. It's basically the darker version of deck tan. And obviously, speaking of deck tan, that is going to need to be another color that I'm going to use to help bring out the highlights of this base section, and that's what I'm going to use around the edges. I don't want to go overboard with something like this because it will make it too light, and we don't want it to be too light. All of this dry brushing though is making a sort of chalky effect on the model, and it's not so great looking, so we'll have to deal with that in a little bit. But once I've got all the highlights done, I'm going to quickly paint over the tire that's on the back of the base. This is just to make it black. That's all I need to do. Another thing that I need to do on the base is address the colors of the traffic light. And of course, I'm a schmuck and I didn't even think about it when I did this, but I literally put yellow for the amber light, so don't fight me about this, but basically you want to use orange instead. Most likely. I mean, maybe no one will notice, although I did mention it, so I guess people will now notice. But it's what I did, and it's tough cooks. I dry brushed them at first using the colors that were the right colors, except for the amber, and then I sprayed with my airbrush some ink over the top of them to make sure that they were the colors they needed to be, but not too bright, because they are not on, they're off. Also, I painted the inside black, the little inside of the shroud, I painted that black as well. I then addressed the wires on the base. I painted a red metallic color over some, I just picked two and painted those red, and then I picked black and I painted one of the wires black, and I used the silver to paint the ends of the wires that's coming out of them. Now for the atmosphere, the real atmosphere here is to use this Militarium green, which is basically just a green. It's a drab kind of green. You could use a drab green and water it down quite a lot and do the same thing with it, is what I'm doing here, and that is just adding atmosphere. By spraying it over certain areas, it helps to tie these colors together. It makes the metals sort of a similar color to the base, and it makes the base a similar color to the areas of the metals that got that green on it. I'm then going to take a powder pigment and put that on the base. That, which you may notice, was red. It's reddish, but it's brown obviously, but that's part of the whole contrasting thing. So this helps to make it stand out and it gives a little bit more realism towards the base section. The base is really simple, and it is literally done. It's now time to add zenithals onto the model parts that I'm going to be painting. Now, at first, when I thought of Magneto, I thought he was red. And he's not really red. He's kind of pinky. Like, he's definitely red, but it's more on the pink side of red. So, I decided to use this Doomfire Magenta, which is a contrast paint. And this means that it's kind of transparent, but it's also builds on top of it. So, it's one of those things. It's a good color to use for the base color of Magneto. Now, a very annoying thing that I'm noticing is that when I look at the video back, what you're seeing on your screen is most likely a blue. And it is very much not a blue that I painted this dude. The coat and cloak and all the rest of it, it's a purple. It's simple as that. It is a purple, but for some reason my camera don't pick that up. One of my Patreons mentioned to me if I could talk about how I did any of the compartmentalization of the muscles. And for this, I'm genuinely just spraying from the bottom of the model, and because the muscles are so defined on this dude, they get shadowed very easily with a dark red. This is a dark red wash, and it's kind of like, it's almost black if it were on its own, and I spray that from the bottom, and sometimes I kind of follow in between the crevasses of the muscles in order to define them a little bit more. I'm going to do the same process for the purple areas by using a dark purple ink. I think it's violet black, or it's just violet. I can't really remember which one. But basically, I'm going to spray that into the shadowed areas and also run it along the lines. Now, going back to the definition of the muscles, I'm going to use this brighter, it's a pink, basically. It's the color that I use for underneath of skin tones. And I'm going to spray that carefully onto the highest spots on all of the little muscles. Equally, I hated this color later, so I came back and changed that. But we'll get to that when we get to that. For now, I'm going to mask off things. Yes, I know, I said it. I masked off things. And by masking off things, that means I can just quickly spray these boots. It's a lot easier like this. It genuinely... I could do this without masking, but I figured the masking for this was really easy. Your bike is too loud, dude! These people that drive past just drive me absolutely nuts. If they could drive quietly, I'm going to make a sign outside my studio to drive quietly. There is people trying to do recordings in this place. Anyway, back to the masking situation. It's simple. It was really quick and easy. If it weren't that easy, trust me, I won't gonna mask it. That's it. Now getting to the color. I did not like the pink. This is where I used the Scarlet Blood color. And it's a very bright red, leaning towards white in it. But it's not white. It's kind of like orange. I don't really know how to explain it. But it's not pink. And it's definitely not red. But it's very bright. It's scarlet red. That's the color. Scarlet Blood. Scarlet. Scarlet's not really red. I'm not going to get into it. We'll move on. The metal pieces around his ankles and also his arms, on like his wrist area and forearm, these needed to be painted with a darker purple. And to make that, I used a purple, like a metallic purple, which was not dark enough. To darken that, I used blue ink. And then to darken that even further, I used a slightly darker purple to just help, because the problem was that the ink and the airbrush paint that I used to make this purple were too thin and they don't paint very nicely, and so to make that not be so terrible, I added the darker purple Vallejo paint to try and thicken up the paints a little bit more and make them work a bit better. Now I can put this torso and the body onto the model, including his cape, and basically I'm done with this part of the model, and it's time now to move on to the head sculpt. And it's just skin tones, really. It's really simple to paint this guy. I didn't use any tricks for this. In fact, I literally used zenithal. I did not even spray at funny awkward angles or anything. Everything is sprayed from either the top or the bottom of the model. I sprayed purple from the top, red from the bottom. Obviously I did that over a zenithal, and then I sprayed a sort of like a skin tone base, let's call it that. That obviously is a little bit desaturated, so to bring that back up, I use a yellower kind of skin tone, which is quite darkish over the top of that. Then I start lightening the highlights of that by using the basic skin tone, and then obviously I need to put back some of that pink that I lost from earlier. So to do that, I use Orcish Dermis, thin down quite a bit, and I spray that from the bottom of the model. Here is where I slightly deviated from the top-bottom situation, and I sprayed Reikland Flesh Shades into his temples and a little bit underneath his nose to make him a little bit darker. He also has got a beard, or at least a 5 o'clock shadow, so I used Griff Charger Grey on a low pressure in my airbrush and sprayed that around his chin and cheek areas to make it look like he has that. Now, to address his hair, I'm going to paint a dark grey first. The reason for this is because he has got some very textured hair, and I want to create the depth that is in that hair. So we want to put the base color first, and what I mean is the color that's going to be in the cracks and crevasses of his hair when we come back and put the highlights later. I'm going to treat his eyebrows the same way as well, and I'm going to paint them with that exact same dark black grey. And then after that, I'm going to take a neutral grey, and I'm going to dry brush that using just a normal brush. This is kind of weird because it's more like over brushing for his eyebrows. I'm basically just using not too much paint and then over brushing it over the eyebrows, because a dry brush might touch the face and then I don't want that to happen. But for his hair, I can literally use 2 different size dry brushes and go wild with it. After I've done that, to add a little bit more highlight, I'll use some deck tan to really bring out some of those highlighted areas, and this will help to give me a lot of depth in the hair and make it look great at the same time. Now, to deal with his eyes, they are quite small. Whenever you do a main character man dude like this, they always have very small eyes, and so you might need some magnifying glasses to do this with, which is what I use. But I paint a dark Sargor brown, and there goes another dark freaking loud bike. Dark Sargor brown in the eyes first to strengthen the shape of them, so that when I put this white of the scleras in, I can leave a thin little line of that dark brown, and it helps to just make a line around the eyes so that they don't disappear in his face. Now, I know Magneto's eyes are supposed to be blue, but I figured if I just use the same greys as his hair, it would appear to look kind of, sort of, maybe kind of bluish, because they're kind of blue-grey, actually. And I then obviously just did a dark grey, and then a light grey in the middle of it, and then I used, while that was drying, I used a bit of Reichland Flesh Shade to line his lips are closed and pressed against each other, and then I can now obviously put the head on the model and call it done. Damn, I missed out half of that stuff. Hopefully, through all of this nonsense, including the shouting at the bikers, driving past my damn shop, you see that this isn't that crazy. It's not the hardest of models to paint, and in fact, I personally think that you can get a really great result on this model just using the simplest of techniques. Even if you did them stupidly, as long as you made sure to keep within the lines of the coloring in book, you'd be fine. Genuinely, I didn't use anything fancy here. There was no really special thinning down of paint. There was no trying to hit specific perfect angles or anything like that. I literally just used the airbrush to spray from the top and from the bottom to create depth and shadows and highlights and all the rest of it. This is such a simple model to paint, and it really does look epic on the table. Genuinely, this is a cool model, and for so little effort you get so much of high reward. I think it's worth it, in my opinion. If you are interested in this model, don't forget it is available on Jace the Sculptor, from Jace the Sculptor. Go check him out, link in the description, of course. And also in my description is a link to my Patreon. We have started adding a load more updates. We're trying to update almost every day during the weekdays. So we also have recently done 2 live streams on Fridays. This is usually happening on Fridays, where you can ask any questions you want, and I'll answer them in a normal kind of conversation without trying to rush through a video for low attention span people on the internet. But that's it from me. Please share this video with someone. Sharing the video is probably the best thing you can do. Leave a comment, leave a like, share it with your granny, and share it in a Facebook group that you're in or something. I don't know, just share it somewhere, because sharing really helps to spread the word. We want to spread the word so more people can figure out that painting models is good for your health and not as difficult as it seems. That's it from me. I'm at the end of the video. If you didn't like anything you saw, I don't care, and you can kindly f*** off.